What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen that I was going down. Make sure to like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Got another post. Benny Johnson, oversight chair James Comer is referring Ilhan Omar to the S community over her net worth, of course. One thing about it, this is how it all started, of course. Let's check it out right here.
You said this week that Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was, quote, at the top of the suspect list. Can you elaborate?
Well, we have to disclose annually our financial statements, and I think it's public knowledge what the salary is for Congress, and it's been the same. I've been here 9 years. It's been the exact same, $174,000 for 9 years. Omar's been here maybe 5 or 7 years, but regardless, her net worth just out of nowhere skyrocketed. We know it's tied to venture capital or private equity, some type of investment funds that her husband's running. We have a lot of questions about where the money came from. How do you make that much in fees in a short period of time?
Is the Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, is this a case that could be referred to the Ethics Committee?
Absolutely. The Ethics Committee's sole purpose in life is to investigate members of Congress.
Will you refer her case to the Ethics Committee?
Absolutely, and I think that there are going to be a lot of members that will encourage the Ethics Committee to take this up, because it's just a simple question. It shouldn't take very long. One little session with the Ethics Committee, with basic questions, how did he amass this much money? And then if they're not satisfied with the answer, then they can certainly get those financial records.
Over with. That's all I got to say. Definitely over with. Says oversight chair representative just filed to expose all financial information related to Ilhan's surging net worth from $51K to $30 million in merely 12 years. Pretty well. I'm not gonna lie, y'all can find this. It's Eric Daugherty. Y'all can look over this. Truly, I know for a fact that things aren't looking good when it comes down to Ilhan Omar. This is Angela Rose. She's, obviously, she's a great independent journalist. I've actually put her on my channel before. And one thing about it is that she's doing an amazing job, definitely doing an amazing job at what she got going on, with Ilhan Omar and her husband, Telminet, and Rose Lake Capital. Says here on this post, I find it weird that they don't have the required SEC registration and have been inactive at the address where the company is located for an unknown amount of time. Pretty wild. This company is valued 6 times more than their winery, and neither of them offer products or services virtually or physical locations. Both operate out of co-working places, and both are inactive. Both shut down after people suspect fraud, which is definitely wild. Check it out.
Online, it says that legitimate advisors have public forms of their ADV filings, and yet Rose Lake Capital doesn't have that. They don't have a place, they don't have clients, they don't have wine, they don't have anything. These forms that they should have available to the public should be detailed public disclosures, including advisors' backgrounds, which they deleted all off of their website because they were all tied to Democrats. They're all a part of the DNC and Obama, and they're also supposed to provide to the public what their services are, what the fees are, and any conflicts of interest. This helps investors understand the risks of giving them their money.
Are we noticing a pattern where it seems like these businesses make a ton of money, but then they become doormat entities where they're no longer operating, no longer registered, don't have any people on site or any way to become a client? Yet if they have $60 billion in assets under management experience, or they have sold $5 million worth of wine, how come then they didn't continue to run these very successful businesses and instead they just open up new ones? Just so you guys know, Tim Manette's business partner, Will Haler, has started West Pike more recently in 2023. So they only work with accredited investors, and they are focused on the acquisition and operational excellence of other wineries. They also sell the idea of wine in Napa Valley and a booming industry, and also their long experience of being in the winemaking business.
I'm telling you, definitely wild. Definitely wild. This is another post. You have here, I visited. So she went and visited, Ilhan Omar husband investment consulting company, Rose Lake Capital. This company makes up a majority of their net worth and went from making a few $1,000s one year and then very next year had 30 million, which is definitely very, very wild. Check it out right here.
We're in Washington, D.C. because people are tired of the strongly worded letters and never-ending investigations. So in this video, we're going to be infiltrating Ilhan Omar's Sketchy consulting headquarters that claims that they have $60 billion in assets under their management, yet they are located out of a co-working place called WeWork. This company is called Rose Lake Capital, and it is co-owned by Ilhan Omar's husband, Timothy Minette. And similar to the winery, in 2023, it made up to $51,000, and it had a sudden and very suspicious increase in net worth up to $30 million in 2024.
Are you trying to meet with them, or what is
So in this video, we're going to see if they have an office. We're going to look for any signs to see if they're actually operating out of here, because this is their only dedicated address. This is the only address that is connected to this tens of millions dollars worth of investment firm. Alex, is there?
Definitely wild. I'll tell you that. Definitely wild. This video that I'm gonna show y'all right here is honestly the continuation of the last video that I played. This is another post that imagine growing a business to make you millions of dollars, then run away from it. Why? If you made operations to provide value and make income, you would want to keep it running or at least sell it. But instead, Rose Lake Capital sees operations like the winery. Tim Minette's successor company of Rose Lake Capital, Rose Lake Inc., forfeited his registration, owning $403,000 in taxes as of May 2024. Says here, stop opening businesses just to screw everyone, run away and repeat. Can't pay $400K in taxes, but yet $250 million is missing from feeding our future. $9 billion total since 2020 of fraud in Minnesota alone, but they're saying it's up to $18 billion, not the $9 billion. But check it out right here.
It's called Rose Lake.
Okay.
Have you heard of them?
So part of our requirements, I can't really tell you. They have had an office here in the
okay.
past. I'm not 100% sure if they're still. Actually, I don't think they're still here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's probably as much as I can just give away.
Yes.
Are you trying to meet with them, or what is
Yeah.
the end goal?
Yeah, because I heard that they were located here.
Okay. Do you have a name of someone that you're trying to contact?
Either Tim Minette or Will.
Okay, yeah, so they actually are inactive. They are no
Inactive.
Oh, okay.
And neither of them, there's no Will or a Tim on their account.
Alex? Is there an Alex?
There is, but again, they're not even here. So they're not going to show up in the system there. On our side, it's grayed out. I can't really click on any of the profiles or into the company. But they were here in the past, yeah.
Did they leave last year?
I wouldn't know that for sure.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, I do know that this individual knows more. I truly just feel like he is more of protecting. It's more protecting. Don't say this, don't say that. Just telling you enough. Just telling you enough. Says here, it's not looking good for Minnesota. Ilhan Omar and her husband, after allegedly running a fake winery, increasing their net worth by $30 million.
Yeah, I was doing a bit of research into Tim Minette, Ilhan Omar's husband's various businesses. And his investment firm, it has no known clients, no known investment deals. It doesn't even have an active SEC registration. And his winery, which is also purportedly making him millions of dollars per year, has no online presence. It has no marketable products available for purchase online. And get this, back in 2020, 2024, an investor into that winery actually sued Minette and his business partners, alleging that they had fraudulently misrepresented the winery as a legitimate business operation. So yeah, maybe there's a version of events here in which, of course, all of this is conveniently timed with his wife's election to Congress and her growing considerable influence in the Democratic Party. And maybe there is a version of events in which Ilhan Omar and her husband have just been extremely fortunate. But in that case, you would think that Ilhan Omar might be a bit more appreciative for this country in the ways in which it's aided her success. But I look at these events and I think they have cracked the Hunter Biden playbook. And I think that there are many other people in Washington, D.C. who watched the success of the influence peddling scheme that the Biden family ran. And more importantly, they saw that the Biden family faced zero consequences for that scheme. And they decided to try and replicate the results themselves. So I do hope that James Comer is successful at cracking what is actually going on here, because I think that she's probably not the only one in Washington with some considerable wealth to answer for.
Come on now. Definitely. One thing about it is that they're closing in on her. Obviously, definitely then closed in on her husband of what's going on. But again, this just goes to show you that how guilty, an individual is, when it comes down to a lot. I'm not going to play this video because I'm going to play it at the end to hear what President Trump says. But, you have this post by Ilhan Omar. And she said a leader of the Foul Protection Party, if y'all know what I mean by foul, Protection Party is trying to deflect attention from his name being all over the Epstein files. At least in Somalia, they execute files, not elect them. So you literally have so much and I look at this as a threat, when it comes down to Ilhan Omar of what she's doing. I know a lot of y'all think the same way. I truly feel like if this was the other way around, things will be handled completely different, from somebody in Congress saying something like this. And that's why I truly, truly want them, to hold a lot of these individuals, including Ilhan Omar, accountable. This right here just goes to show you that it's so many Somalians that are within this fraud that's going down, and they're everywhere. It's just not in Minnesota. This literally is in Dearborn. It's in Michigan. And you literally have an individual that's on the side of the road saying deport the Somalis. So many individuals are, pretty tired of, what's going on within, these Somalians and what they're doing when it comes down to a lot. I've explained it before. You have different individuals that's clearly, when it comes down to it, y'all know they get that assistance of $7,000. I'm not sure if it's a month, but it's $7,000. They get assistance when it comes to food. They get assistance when it comes to housing. A lot of these individuals that's within the fry, and in deep, they're driving nice cars, have brand new phones. A lot of these things. And the crazy thing about it is that you have individuals that's literally struggling, going to work every day. People that they're actually taking, allegedly, I should say, money from. Those are people that are clearly not getting it because a lot of those individuals are out protesting. And I truly just don't get that. I truly do not get that. If y'all watch any of those protests, or they call it those protests, it's definitely not protests, but saying that, you don't see any Somalians whatsoever because they don't care. Truly don't care. You literally have a Somalian right here saying, I know comfortable here. I know some of us make fraud, but not all.
Not comfortable sometimes because when I drive, when I'm sitting somewhere, not comfortable like before.
She says the president's recent focus on the Somali community is unnerving.
What he said, we've affected all communities. We know some people, they make fraud, but not all. Not comfortable sometimes.
See what I mean? Definitely insane. One thing about it, though, says Trump absolutely, has something to say when it comes down to Somalis ruining America. This is the video I was talking about. Check it out right here.
So you're going to still go after the whole waste, fraud, and abuse issue?
Well, I am in Minnesota. Take a look at Minnesota. So we think it's at least $19 billion of fraud, medical.
I say 18. It's 19.
Somalia has come in here. What they've done to our country, these people, they've come into our country, and what they've done with that fake congresswoman, she's so bad. No, we're going to get to the bottom of it.
So you're going to still.
Y'all got it right here. One thing about it, I know President Trump is going to get to the bottom of a lot. Get to the bottom of a lot, that's going down with Ilhan Omar and her husband, Tim Walz, Fry, Ellison. There's a lot of individuals, especially moving away, from Minnesota. Like I said, Minnesota, this isn't the only place that it's happening at. So it's definitely wild. It's sad. you know, the individuals aren't waking up to the simple fact of what these individuals are doing. But, you know, I mean, there's only one thing that I can do, and that's keep on, you know, putting out these videos and do what I can, you know, especially for the individuals that, you know, aren't, that has something to say, but not truly paying attention. That's really, you know, truly what I aim for. One of the things that I aim for, you know, is to get a lot of individuals, you know, on board. You know, I'm not a person that's going to tell you who to vote for, who to support, but I want you to know the truth, and I want you to know, you know, what's real, you know, out here. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.